Let's look at some interesting cards for our commander decks. First up, we have Dawn of the Dead. 5 mana, 2 and triple black enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature gains haste until end of turn. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. I understand that a 5 mana enchantment that makes you wait until your upkeep to actually reanimate something does come off as a little too slow compared to a lot of the fantastic reanimation spells we have in the format, but this can reanimate something every single turn with haste in mono black or, non-red reanimator decks. And the fact that the creature doesn't come back with like a finality counter or something, this is an older card, so there's none of that, means that if you sacrifice the creature, if it goes to the graveyard, it won't be exiled. And we know how much graveyard decks love to reuse their creatures. And of course, losing 1 life is not a big deal at all. Thalakos Deceiver, 4 mana, 3 and 1 blue, creature, Thalakos Wizard, 1/1. Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow. Whenever this creature attacks and isn't blocked, you may sacrifice it. If you do, gain control of target creature. This effect lasts indefinitely. This seems like an obvious include in a theft deck. Being able to permanently take somebody's creature, especially their commander, is devastating. But I think that cards like this are really interesting, even outside of that, because when they hit the battlefield, they make people, nervous. It's like, do I remove this thing? Are you going to take my commander? Are you going to take someone else's commander or powerful creature? And it just really opens those conversations and makes people kind of like nervous. And cards like that can be really fun. And it could buy you some time too, because that time around the table, if they can't remove it, they're going to be like, all right, I won't attack you, but don't steal my commander, please. It also synergizes really well with Dawn of the Dead, because Thalakos Deceiver will come back with haste, meaning you'll be able to attack immediately, and then it sacrifices itself, so it won't be exiled from Dawn of the Dead, and then you'll be able to just every turn bring it back and then permanently steal a creature. So a nice little 2-card interaction there. Let's talk about 2 cards with the same effect, but one is slightly better and way more expensive. Harmony of Nature is a 3 mana sorcery, 2 and a green. Tap any number of untapped creatures you control, you gain 4 life for each creature tapped this way. Marshalling the Troops, 2 mana sorcery, 1 and a green. Tap any number of untapped creatures you control, you gain 4 life for each creature tapped this way. So this is going to cost you 1 less mana and about $50 plus more dollars. I understand why people might look at these cards and immediately disregard them. Just gaining life from your sorcery and tapping down your own creatures is not exactly the kind of board impact people want from sorceries when they play them. However, gaining life is always a good thing, and 4 life per creature is huge, and combining that with something like a veto to drain somebody, or a split up to destroy all the untapped creatures, or harvest season to search for a basic land for each tapped creature you have, all of these effects are really good, right? Or maybe you can untap your creatures. Either way, both of these cards offer game-changing amounts of life. Even if you didn't have anything to combine them with, you just tapped a bunch of creatures and gained life, it could save you towards the end of the game. Feral Zealot, 3 mana creature human, 1 and 2 white, 2/2. Whenever this creature attacks and isn't blocked, you may have it deal 3 damage to target creature. If you do, this creature assigns no combat damage this turn. We're also going to look at Dwarven Vigilantes, 3 mana creature dwarf, 2 and a red, 2/2. Whenever this creature attacks and isn't blocked, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to target creature. If you do, this creature assigns no combat damage this turn. At first glance, these both look like 3 mana 2/2s that need evasion, otherwise they're not going to do anything. However, it's really easy to be political with these cards and just make a deal with someone. Hey, don't block my creatures, and I'll remove, whatever threat from someone else's board. And since they won't take any damage from the creatures attacking, they're likely to take the deal, because obviously their other opponent is losing key creatures, right? If you're not into the whole political thing and you don't want to talk and make deals, you just want to use your effects, we have another card to look at as well. Soltari Gorillas, 4 mana creature Soltari Soldier, 2 a red and a white, 3/2, Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with Shadow. 0 mana. The next time this creature would deal combat damage to an opponent this turn, it deals that damage to target creature instead. This card allows us to ignore the political side of the other 2 cards, because we have Shadow, and we could just attack unblocked anyways. And then it kind of is similar to both of them in the sense that it can deal 3 damage on its base, similar to Feral Zealot, but it also scales with how much power it has, similar to Dwarven Vigilantes. So either way, we could put in some damage on somebody unblocked, or we could direct that damage to a creature and use it as creature removal each turn. But they don't feel oppressive in the way that they do it. I think they're cool creatures, and more people should give them a shot. Let me know in the comments down below if you found any of these cards interesting. Are they a good fit for any of your decks? What cards do you enjoy playing that maybe don't see enough play? Thanks for watching. Until next time.